and now we're all living together again. I supported President Obama because he spoke so beautifully. He promised change, but things changed for the worse. Obama started spending like our credit cards have no limit. His healthcare law made health insurance even more expensive. We've had stimulus and bailouts. Obama added almost $16,000 in debt for every American. How will my kids pay that off when they can't even find jobs? Now Obama wants more spending and taxes. That won't fix things. I had so many hopes. Cutting taxes and debt and creating jobs. That's the change we need. Tell President Obama to cut the job-killing debt and support the New Majority Agenda at newmajorityagenda.org.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Feeling lonely this holiday season? Looking for little human interaction? Do you want to feel contact in certain special places?
Then why not go through security at an airport?
The TSA.
TSA agents are ready and standing by to give you a little something extra to feel thankful about this holiday season.
The TSA.
What are you waiting for? I want to check under your testicles.
Spending time with a TSA agent couldn't be easier. Simply book a flight departing from any American airport. When selected for a full body scanner, say no. You'll be pulled aside by a TSA agent, and that's when the fun begins. And you never know who your agent will be. It could be me. Or me. Or even me.
But it's probably gonna be us. Take off your damn shoes.
The TSA. It's our business to touch yours.
Welcome to the Bureau of Womanhood Conformity. Independent thoughts are considered subversive because all must agree with our leader.
When it comes to women, preventative care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
You see, if you don't believe government should pay for your birth control, you're not a real woman. Womanhood denied. If you refuse to accept that pregnancy is a punishment, you're denied as well.
I don't want them punished with a baby.
If you don't believe that abortions should be allowed for any reason, if you don't believe in aborting a child for being the wrong gender, and if you don't believe that stay-at-home mothers aren't real workers, you are not a real conformed woman.
His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. His wife has actually never worked a day in her life.
Finally, for your safety, if you oppose mandatory government health care, you will die.
They will be voting to say that women can die on the floor.
These standards and regulations were formed after our glorious victory in the war on women. Thank you for your cooperation and your conformity.
Today is a special day. Today we gather as a nation and as an international community to recognize the selfless decision of one of the most influential women of our time. She's been recognized by religious figures and politicians around the world. To us, she's just Rachel. But to the rest of the world, she is the woman who, after having one too many drinks, chose not to drive home buzzed. Here today to honor Rachel is the family whose lives she spared.
Save a life. Don't drive buzzed. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I was in chronic pain, and my family struggling to make ends meet, food and gas prices going up, even keeping my job was iffy. Then I learned about a new miracle drug made in Washington, D.C., Spenditol. Spenditol is Washington's answer to all the painful problems Americans face. How to borrow $800 billion for a stimulus that didn't create jobs or fix the economy? Spenditol.
Spenditol is not for everyone. Side effects may include a mountain of government debt piled on our kids, a sudden loss of freedoms, higher prices for everything, leaving our kids a lesser America than we had. Ask your doctor or congressman if your conscience is strong enough for Spenditol.
And it's so popular in Washington, we have to import trillions more of it from China. Spenditol makes you feel better now and pushes off the really bad stuff till later, for them to deal with.
Call the White House and Congress. Tell them, stop spending it all.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
Payroll taxes. From the Wall Street Journal, payroll tax takes a new bite. Yes, indeed. American workers are opening their first paychecks of the year and finding an unpleasant surprise. The government's take has gone up. A temporary cut in Social Security withholding gave Americans hundreds of extra dollars to spend over the past 2 years. But Congress allowed that break to expire during the wrangling over the fiscal cliff, meaning that Social Security taxes have reverted back to the 6.2% of salary from the temporary 4.2% that they were over the past 2 years. Now, the noticeable lightening of paychecks as consumers remain tentative threatens to put a drag on economic growth. Now, the effect for companies is that the hit is likely to cement a frugal attitude that led consumers to cut back on eating out and shift to less expensive store brands. And it's just, it may seem like a little bit, but 2% is actually a lot when you compound it and you add it up by the, over the look. People have often, I try to reframe people's minds because we've been so conditioned to look at things on a monthly basis. Oh, it's only $5.99 a month. Yeah, it's $6 a month. But how much is that annually? Well, who cares about that? It's less than $6 a month. Yes, but it's $72 a year. No. I've had somebody argue with me about this once. I said, you're paying $100 a month for your cable bill, basically. That means you're paying $1,200 a year. They actually tried to argue with me. No, I'm not. Yeah, $1,200. No, it can't be that much. Why don't you just do the simple math? $100 a month. There are 12 months in the year. How much is that? And you get a number of people that say, wow, I've never looked at it that way before. Yeah, of course you haven't. And that's the way companies, the private sector, and government want you to think of it. Not on an annual basis, so you get because you look at your salary on an annual basis, right? Oh yeah, I make $30,000 a year, or I make $40,000 a year. Most people don't come out and say, well, I make $2,500 a month. I make $40,000 a year. So why is it that when it comes to what in our income, we're so easily trained to know how much it is on an annual basis, but when it comes to our outgo, many of us can't seem to look past the monthly plan. And companies also would rather have you pay the monthly plan, because a lot of times the monthly plan costs more than the annual plan. Why don't you see how much difference there is in price the next time you go when you're looking for car insurance? Because most people pay their car insurance by the month. Ask them up for, well, how much is it if I just give you a check right now for the entire year? Oh, you'll get like a $200 discount. Say what? Yeah, that's true. You'll get a discount. If you pay for certain things up front for a year, you get a discount. Not to mention, they don't have access to your accounts then, because a lot of places now are requiring people to give them access for an automatic withdrawal. I say no. If you need an automatic withdrawal, then I don't need your services. Well, we got to have it. Well, how about if I just... And so it shocks people sometimes. I know when I joined a health club, I said I don't give. I told them I don't give anyone access to my account. I've had too many issues with people putting in money and taking out money when they weren't supposed to, especially taking it out when they weren't supposed to. And then it's I got to fight like a Dickens to get my money back. No, I'm not doing that. They go, well, you gotta. If you want to be a member here. I said, well, can I just pay for the membership annually? And he looked at me and he goes, the whole thing? I said, yeah. Is that a problem? He goes, no, nobody does it. Well, I am. That is, if you want me to still be a member of your club. It's not exactly as if it were a lot. I mean, folks, it's, as far as, well, I guess as far as health clubs are concerned around here, because people, it's $10 a month, $120 a year for a lot of places. But mine was like $250. And I said, people actually can't give you $250 for the year. No. They've got to. They can barely pay the $20 or $30 activation or joining fee, whatever they call it now. So they have to. I said, well, that's pretty piss poor of people who can't do that. Oh, well, but this guy is going, I'm going to just pay the whole damn thing. How's that? And, they're kind of surprised by it, but they'll get over it. And, it's just, folks, it's amazing it's just amazing what people will allow themselves to get into. And this is the same thing with our government when it comes to, figuring out what our government is charging us and how much that we're really paying. Because people don't realize how much we're really paying in our taxes because they take it out every month. And the only time we ever notice is when there is a small tax increase and we notice, well, I don't get that extra $20 this week. Well, you're not getting that extra $20 ever again. It's gone for good. Sayonara. Is that I don't know. Is that, should I not say that? Sayonara. Is that bad to say? In any case, so you've got the taxes that are going up on you. And people are noticing it in the first paycheck of the year, which is about now. For people who are paid every 2 weeks, it's about now. And people who get paid weekly, this is their Friday was their first full week's paycheck of the year. So, yeah, they're people are, you know what? You voted for it. Who are you going to blame? Who are you going to blame? I love it. Look, they're trying to. Well, it's those Republicans